catches on fire. That fire broke out on the plane's engine as it sat on the tarmac at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport this evening. That fire was quickly put out and no one was hurt. Tonight we are learning much more about the people involved in a mid-air disaster. The first plane, a stunt aircraft, took off from Pompano Beach Air Park yesterday. Then a Lear jet took off just moments later from Boca Raton. Both collided over the Boca Grove golf course. Whitney Casey has the very latest.
Well, the scene here tonight is much quieter than it has been in the past day. NTSB just now finished taking out all the wreckage that landed throughout this community. And now community members are reflecting over the day's events, realizing just how close they were to death. The quiet, calming sound of night. The sun sets on this upscale golfing community, and residents still in shock over the tragic string of events occurring right in their own backyards.
And I was shaking all day. I keep hearing the 3 explosions and the pieces falling at my head.
Resident Alana Hiller says she was just inches away from death.
Huge piece of pipe came right next to my head, landed. They said it was part of the fuel tank.
Standing here in his $1 million condo, Boca native Jerry Altimer now also realizing just how close he was to losing everything.
And we heard 2 large explosions and saw a large ball of fire, and I said, let's get out of here.
After hitting the small stunt plane, the fuselage of the Lear jet crashed and burned just 8 feet away from his window.
I'm still trying to realize how lucky we were.
Fortunate bystanders witnessing very unfortunate turn of events. And now NTSB investigators sifting through wreckage from yesterday's mid-air collision, using witness testimony as crucial evidence.
And he observed that aircraft take an evasive maneuver by making a turn and descending when the Lear jet and the experimental airplane collided.
Investigators also know now both pilots were experienced airmen. 57-year-old John Lilberg flying stunt planes for decades, and Lear jet pilot Richard Smith, a former Air Force F-16 pilot. And now tapes from the Lear jet's voice recording box carefully extracted. Still not a lot of answers as to why these 2 planes collided in midair, but investigators hoping that that voice recording box from the Lear jet will provide some of those answers. In Boca Raton, Whitney Casey, NBC6.
A teenage surfer got a rush today, but this one wasn't from the waves. He was hit by lightning. The 15-year-old was sitting on a surfboard about 100 yards off the beach in Brevard County. That's when a lightning bolt struck the water and the boy was thrown off his board. A friend swimming nearby saw what had happened, pulled the victim out of the water and performed CPR. That teenager tonight is in critical condition. More test results are in showing the water's contaminated by a huge sewage leak are getting cleaner, but it's not soon enough for business owners who say they're losing profits fast. Owners of recreational boating companies say they're taking a hit in the pocketbook. Last week, millions of gallons of raw sewage leaked into Biscayne Bay, making most Miami-Dade beaches off limits to swimmers. Customers who had planned open water dives are now canceling because they're afraid the water may make them sick.
In actual bookings Thursday and Friday, I'd say we lost somewhere between maybe $1,600, $1,700.
A lot of people called and asked about the sewage, and we're concerned, thoughtfully of themselves, their health and everything.
Only 1 of 56 tests failed today. That was the one closest to the leak. Construction crews say it could take between 5 to 10 days to finish fixing that ruptured pipe. 2 more possible security breaches at one of the nation's most top secret facilities. Next at 11, we'll tell you about the latest mess that has officials worried about keeping our nation's defenses a secret. And a busy night of sports is on deck. The Marlins, Soul, Bobcats, and Fusion all at home. We'll have all the action coming up on Sports Final.
Good evening, I'm Gary Travers. It's been a nice rain-free day, but it's been a rather rainy evening in parts of our area, and now some of these storms are starting to show up farther on toward the east. We'll track them on the Doppler radar, talk about a new tropical depression. It's all coming up in my forecast. Stay tuned.
The only station with more than 50 years experience covering South Florida hurricanes is also the station with the most extensive network of media partners.
Stormwatch 2000.
Print.
The Herald. El Nuevo Herald.
Radio.
Mega 1035. News Radio 610. Mix 94 FM. Keys Talk 1300 AM.
Television.
WB 39. Pax 35. Whammy.
And the net.
NBC6.net.
Make NBC6 and its media partners your only choice this hurricane season.
Tonight on Saturday Night Live, Christopher Walken, Christina Aguilera, the ladies' man.
I'm talking about pornos.
So is Christopher.
When it comes to standard V6 torque, Chevy Silverado beats Ford F-150 and Dodge Ram 1500. That's why Silverado also beats Ford and Dodge in standard V6 towing capacity.
What'd you do to my truck?
I just gave it a wash.
And with an offer like this, we made a great truck look even better. Silverado, the truck from Chevy.
A man's got to protect his image.
I've taken care of this garden from the very first seedling. We need each other. But when I got arthritis, I thought my gardening days were over. Then my doctor encouraged me to keep at it, because staying active helps keep joints from getting stiff. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. It's the #1 recommended medicine of its kind for arthritis pain, and it's gentle on my stomach. My doctor's right. Advil and gardening work beautifully.
Advil, stronger than pain.
The Acura Summer Sales Classic is underway. Now through month's end, find hot savings on Acura, America's best quality car. The luxurious RL, the sporty Integra, the exciting new 2001 CL, or Motor Trend's best luxury sedan, TL. Now choose the Acura CL or TL for just $359 a month. Drive the best quality car in America. Now during the Acura Summer Sales Classic. But hurry, because June 30th, these hot Acura savings cool off.
More breaking news right now. A deadly accident has shut down the Palmetto southbound at Miller Road. A van has rolled over, killing one person. If you plan on being in that area in the next few minutes, look for an alternate route. Of course, if you can avoid that area, you should do that. Government officials are now checking for more security breaks at the nation's top nuclear facility after more top secret information temporarily disappears. Two 10-year-old floppy disks containing classified information were reported missing from the Los Alamos Nuclear Laboratory in New Mexico. The disks were found a day later, but now they were misplaced. All of that is a mystery. Officials believe no classified information was compromised. Well, Gary Travers joining us now in for John Garaldi. We have some rain popping up.
We have some rain that's popped up. It was a very dry day, but now we're getting seriously wet in some of the western suburbs, and we'll take a look at it. We do need it. We'll check it on the radar here. It's been a very dry June, and June, you know, is the rainiest month of the year statistically, but it's been very dry. Getting a little bit of rain tonight, though, to try and make up for it. Here's a look from our Skycam network. It's a beautiful night in many locations around South Florida, but when you see the radar here, well, it's wet in other spots. Take a look here. Broward County really starting to get some action now. It's primarily off to the west, but notice up here around Pompano Beach, we've got some activity starting to come in, and even around Fort Lauderdale. All of this stuff shows little movement. It's just kind of milling around here. A little bit of activity going on in Dade County too, but not much. That rain seems to be moving off toward the west, but most areas, as you can see, are staying dry. Nonetheless, we'll leave a chance of rain in our forecast for the next couple of hours until some of these storms die out. And then we might get a few showers on toward morning. So hopefully that'll help with our drought situation as well. This is the new tropical depression #1. It's just come off the coast of Africa, and it's moving lickety-split across the Atlantic, but it is very far away. How about make that 1,875 miles east of the islands. There are the islands right there, so that's almost 3,500 miles away from us here in South Florida, and that means we have a very long time to keep an eye on it, nearly an entire week. Here, we have the forecast positions from the National Hurricane Center. They do show it turning into a minimal tropical storm by Monday as it continues to track on toward the west. So we'll keep watching it, and it's really nothing to worry about at the present time. Here's a look at our forecast. Over the next several days, we're talking about temperatures near 90, lots of sunshine, and a slight chance of rain in the form of an afternoon storm or a morning shower each day. That's our weather, and here's Martha.
All right, Gary, thank you. That wraps up our news tonight. We thank you so much for watching. Guy Rawlings is set next with Sports Final. Have a terrific evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night. Good night.
NBC6 News, Monday.
Elian Gonzalez may be headed back to Cuba. That's what the courts ruled. But how soon will it happen? I'm Jackie Nesbro. We'll have live coverage from Washington, Cuba, and Miami.
Monday at 5 on NBC6.
When Ben Crenshaw and Steve Elke